Hi all, this is Tommy B, and this will be a quick guide about how to use the tracker bot, what features are available currently, how to set up, and basically a short tutorial how to start using this application. In the very top you can see private key and address. Basically this is mandatory to be able to communicate with your wallet. My address is basically providing your license to be able to log in, and the private key from the Metamask giving you the option to trade with the Metamask. So this is the bridge between Metamask and the application. Next to the wallet, there is an option to set a few profiles. Let's say if you own more licenses, then you can open two or more instances. Then you can set up profiles for each of the trade as you wish. Here you can add the profile. Next, new profile, you can name it. Let's say name. You click on the plus button, it's add, then click on save, and then the extra profile will appear in the drop down. Next to the profile settings, there is a settings button where basically you can set up dark mode, normal light mode, deadline tolerance, basically deadline tolerance to check if someone's sending a transaction in the past. So basically it's kind of against to get scanned by the tracked wallet. Usually I'm leaving in couple of seconds, don't need to go crazy with, otherwise it will be getting a lot of transactions reverted. Restart time, basically restarting the system and freshen the memory. By default it's on 60 minutes, however I recommend to keep it short. I know there is a risk to you miss a call when it's restarting, but still good to refresh the memory of the application. So my suggestion is between 15 to 30 minutes is ideal, and the application will be always in good performance, so you don't need to restart manually. This is done automatically, as I mentioned. If you are scanning the wallet, this will managing in the background and moving back to the same position, so you don't need to do nothing. Whenever it's appearing in the console, just ignore, because the application knows what to do. Underneath the servers, basically this is a tough server, but if you have your own, you can set this. When you getting the node, you need to paste both field, the server details, then click save, and the application will close, and manually you have to reopen it to start to enable the node connection. And then if you can see a part for the cancel transaction. So basically when you are let's say getting stuck because the tracked wallet sending a transaction with log way, it can happen that it's stuck for an hour. Probably most of you already seen this in the past. So if there is something stuck, you can set up the gas price and gas limit, and you can clean up, so you don't need to manually manage this in your MetaMask. You can manage from the application. What you should set for gas and gas limit, I would say 700k is sufficient for the gas limit. And the gas price, always check the actual block gas price and add let's say 20% extra. So if you're going to any site where you can check the current gas, or you are just going to tap Discord, there is a if gas settings. Let's say if it's 13, I would go with 20, then click on cancel transaction, and all the pending transaction will be cleaned up. And then if you can see a button for checking your node connectivity. If it's connected well, you will get response back over here in the console. And the button next shows you if you have anything stuck. So this one should be used if it's saying totally different than what is ready. Let's say if there is transaction current and transaction past is not matching. If the two number is not matching, means you have a stuck transaction. So you check with this button if you have stuck transaction. If yes, you click cancel transaction and the bot will be up again. Clear list, basically it's cleaning up the trade list and all the list what you have in the trade tabs and the history tab. I don't want to click now because I have some details there, but that's the button stands for. Clear cache. Clear cache stands for if your config for some reason having some malfunction, you click there and it's completely cleaning up every settings what you have in the tracker bot, and then you can start to reconfigure from scratch. You have email notification settings, you can set this, and there is an approve tab where you can approve some tokens and on the specific router. So very often users are trading with WebDEF or USDC or another tokens. Basically you select the router what you want and the token, click on approve, then it's approving on the wallet. So let's say you are tracking someone who is using WebDEF instead of normally if you have to approve the token before to be able to follow him. You will recognize this easily when let's say you're trying to follow someone and an error message pops up and the error message contains a message or code with wrapped if issue. By default, I recommend to everyone to run this on every wallet, because you never know when the tracked wallet changing their mind and they use WebDEF or USDC to trade. Very important, if you tracking someone who is using those tokens, make sure you are holding on your wallet as well. So it's not sufficient that you have ETH in your wallet and another 2 or 3 tokens not. The application will not convert to you and will not ape in the same way. So you need to hold the same tokens. So if the person having ETH and WebDEF and USDC and the person using it actively, you need to make sure that WebDEF and USDC approved, and you need to hold also in your wallet. When it's done, the application should be ready to trade those tokens as well. Okay, let's move to the main part. Under here in the plus button, you can the wallet who you want to track. Basically, you name the wallet, wallet1 or whatever you would like. Sorry, and you paste an address. Let me pick just quickly an address. Okay, I will just pick some random address over from this contract. So let's say I want to track this wallet. I paste his wallet info over here, click add, then you will see in the drop down there will be wallets appearing. Recently we have boosted up to 50. However, I think if you have 1 or 2 or couple of good wallets, it's more than enough. If you want to track 50, you can, but I don't think so. That's makes you even better if you trade 50 users, because you never know which one goes crazy and doing some unwanted apes. In case you don't want the wallet, you can just cancel it, you can just delete, but if you want to modify, you can just modify over in the pencil and you can done the changes. If you don't want to follow on that specific day or specific moment the one of the wallet, you can just disable it or you can just enable it. But if you are trading, make sure that you stop the bot and then do the changes and start again. If you just want to follow the buy of the person but you don't want to rely on his sells, then make sure that this checkbox is enabled. If you just want to rely on his sells, make sure that you just enable the sell button. If you want to follow both of them, both side buys and sells and approves, then just leave blank and it should be fine. Alright, I'm moving to the next part, maximum investment. Maximum investment stands for, let's say I want to spend maximum 0.1 ETH for each of my trades. Even though if the person is trading with 1 ETH constantly, so he's not using less or he's using, let's say, significantly high amount of ETH for trading, you don't need to follow the person with the same amount. You can set your own, and basically your maximum will be 0.1 in that case. In case the person using less for his trade than 0.1, then you will copy his value. So basically this is a limitation to your maximum investment, what you want to spend, independently how the other person using his investment. Minimum investment a little bit different than you can imagine from this name. Basically, when if gas is high and your bag is not worth too much, let's say your bag is worth 0.01, but the gas is significantly high, you can set in the bot that ignore those cells when your bag costs less than 0.01, because sometimes the gas is just simply too high to sell it, and it's not worth, because you will spend more on gas than your bag worth. So if you want to set, you can set accordingly. This is not relates to your minimum investment for buy. Your minimum investment will be below the maximum investment always, and the maximum investment what is counting. Transaction limit. So transaction limit relates to how many transactions of the specific wallet you want to follow. One buy, one sell, and one approve is free transaction. So let's say if you want to follow the person for one trade, you set free. If you want to follow the selected wallet for 10 trades, including buys, approve, and sells, you set 30, and after the application will disable. So basically, maximum this is a transaction limit, how long you want to follow the selected wallet. Auto approve, basically it's for saving time. In case you're selecting auto approve, as soon as the token purchase successfully, the approve process going through, and you will save some time on the sell. Copy slippage is good. However, a lot of times, if there is a new launch and you're copying someone who's snapping, I would always recommend to use some extra slippage to make sure that you get the same amount of token. You can set as you wish your slippage tolerance, and basically this means you accept less tokens from the router than the person requested. Plus gas buy. This is for front run, the buy of the person who you are tracking. However, need to be careful with that, because in case the person is following without a trade, open trade or any method, you shouldn't front run him, because you will front run also the buy and the open trading or the odd liquidity transaction. So use this with the knowledge that if you use even one, that's possibly gonna front run each of the open trade or each of the odd liquidity. So this can be end up on quite few rewards. I'm usually not recommending to front run anyone. You can set up the same for yourself. So let's say you want to sell your bag before the person doing it. So you say, let's say the person using 10 gas, you can set +2 gas for sell. So basically you're going with 12 gas, and probably the miners will prioritize your transaction. In case you want to limit your maximum gas, what you are okay to spend, you can specify in the application. Let's say the wallet who you are tracking continuously aping to everything with more than 100 gas, so he's wasting a lot of gas money, even with reason or without, but you can limit that. Okay, I just want to follow his trades where the gas settings cost less than 100, and basically this field stands for that. But if you don't want to follow after specific amount of gas, you can limit in the application. Gas limit, you can personalize your own gas limit, let's say 650,000, or as you wish. Otherwise you're going with the same as the person using it. Delay block for buy and sell. If you want to stay well behind than him, you can set one delay block, then basically what blocks he's arriving, you go one block after. I have added this with Yanni based on request. I don't think so it's often being used. Buy number for buy number and sell number. Basically this is very important. Let's say you can limit how many times you let the application ape into one specific token. So let's say the person is aping into one token 10 times, but you are saying to your application, okay, but I just want to follow once to each of the token, then you set one here. If you set 2, that means 2 tries you are unable for the application to the same token. Maybe 2 is better than 1 in case that if the person reverts once, that counts already 1. And the second date will goes 2, then you have still opportunity to go with him. If you set it to 1 then and he fails, basically the application will blacklist that contract and you will not able to go with him. Same goes for the sell. Let's say the person trying to sell, but for some reason he cannot, and he trying like 10-15 times. You don't need to do the same thing. You can set how many times you are willing to try with him to sell the token, even though if it's okay to sell or not. Scam transaction stands for when the to and the from field in the if scan on the specific wallet is not matching, basically is getting some airdrop tokens or some transfers, then it's keeping those transactions. I'm recommending to use it for DGen wallets. However, if you have some confident wallet who you know don't doing anything dodgy, then you can switch off and probably everything will be fine and all the transaction will go through. You will see in the console message later on. Speed up stands for basically it's doing a quick check if the block gas is the same as the person used. So if he wants to stack you with low gwei and then he's dropping and replacing his transaction with higher gwei, basically this do a quick check and see what's the current gas on the block and not letting you to stack. Investment, basically this is replacing and helping the maximum investment and the minimum investment. So let's say if you don't want to specify the maximum investment, but you say that okay, I want always 50% more tokens or more value than the person using, then you set 50%. So if the person is aping with one ETH, you're going with 50% more. You can set the same for negative way. So let's say if you do 50% minus, then if the person is trading with one ETH, you always doing the half what he is requesting from the router. So this is also great. It's pretty new implementation on the application. Honeypot checker works based on the Telegram simulator, and accordingly to the Telegram simulator you can set what tax range you are accepting based on the Telegram simulator, as I mentioned. Please note this check takes roughly 200 milliseconds. So if you using that check, just note that it might end up a little bit with delay because it's need to check how it was the token if it's able to recognize. You can see that it means that anything below 20% you are fine to buy. And also you can put the maximum range that okay, anything below 20% and anything above 2% you accept, but you can set much higher targets. Personally, I don't use it's for me times matter more than checking this one. All right. Stop button for stopping the following, start button to start the following. So let's say if I'm starting, you can see that it's appearing two pot is running, means it's activated, and it's basically scanning the specific two wallets who I have here. And if one of them doing a trade, you will see in the console the buy and sell and the approved transactions, or what's happening. Underneath you can set up some favorite wallets. You can add there if you don't want to boost your wallets, just want to keep favorite wallets, you can mention over here. You can blacklist contracts. So by default I'm starting blacklisting the stable coins and the coins what I own already. So let's say I don't want to follow when the person buying stables, and let's say I have just saying something Sunny token, and but I already have a bag and I don't want to get bothered when the person trying to do something on Sunnies. You can out there and blacklist that contract. Method IDs, yeah, that's pretty complex, but I will explain shortly. But let's do quickly before the blacklist owner. So let's say there are some owners who's just doing farms from the same accounts, and they just trying to scam peoples. So you also can blacklist a wallet who you don't want to follow. Basically this is a dev wallet who you can blacklist. So if you boost up with dev wallets who you don't want to follow because you know that person is dodgy, then the application will ignore those. So yeah, method ID. Method ID is basically stands for those wallets who are not using normal trades. I mean, normal trades means Uniswap router or V3 router or Uniswap DEX or snipers with the normal swaps. So as soon whenever you're seeing a swap exact tokens or like something normal in the transaction, let me open one. So whenever the transaction looks like this and using normal function, that's considering a normal trader, and he's not using a smart contract, so you don't need to teach and implement. The application will know how to follow those. However, you can see that there is a guy who's using this contract method. It's just an example. He got some special smart contract how he's trading, and there is not even input data there how to follow him. So this by default not known by the application. Those transactions you have to teach to the application. So in that scenario, you take the transaction hash, going back to the application, pasting the transaction hash, you're loading it, and it will highlight what and how he is doing. You need to name if it's a buy or a sell transaction. You can see this is a buy transaction. He's buying wrapped from ETH to Doge Wolf. So we will need Doge Wolf the address. It's end with 59B. So we're moving back to the wallet, to the application. So you can see that this is a buy transaction. Token address is 59B, so we will set param9 to the 59B, and basically with this config you will follow the smart contract as well. Also you can boost up if you want to follow his specific token amount, so you can boost up with those information as well, but with the default ones, basically this is how you can copy smart contract bots as well. So as you can see, I have added this method as a buy, but also if the person using a smart contract for sell, you need to do the same with the sell parameters. So let's say if it's a sell one, you pick sell, then again you're doing the same to make sure that you are able to follow the specific smart contract wallet. You can adapt as much as you want. If he's running under buy and sell transaction under the same method, that's no problem. The application will know it. Alright, I haven't mentioned the console. Basically the console shows you everything what's happening in your tool, buys and sells and approves, who you followed, what's the transaction hash for you, for him, the token name, and the amount of tokens you are getting. What else I have missed? You can see the balance of your wallet, and yeah, basically that's it on the main tab. If you want to stop or you want to change anything on your settings, stop the application. You can clean up the console, you can clean up and fresh up the application with the big bin at the top, and you can start again, then the application will continue. So basically if you do some changes, make sure you stop, do the changes, then start again. Alright, I'm moving to the trades tab. I have just one transaction made quickly today to make sure I'm able to present to you this tab as well. Basically under this tab all the tokens where you bought in will appear, so you can do a quick check how your portfolio, how your trades are looks like. With the reload button you can refresh it, but after each of the trades it should appear all the transactions what you have. You can see when it's happened, the wallet, the token, how much tokens you got. You see that I don't have any tokens. You can see the current actual value of your tokens, what you can change with the reload button. So if it's if it's mooning, that's the percentage will goes up. If it goes down, then means it's in downtrend. By default, if there is nothing or something, it's you will see minus 100%. Don't get shocked. You can see that the status is sold, so that's why it shows, because I don't have this token. It was just added for the video record. If you want to ape on the top, you can use a quick sniper for that. Basically it's functioning as a basic sniper bot. You can select the swap, you can set up the pair, you can approve, you can set up slippage, you can check the chart, you can stop trading, so you can disable this from the tracked wallet if you want, and you can set up some basic information, basic needs for the buy parameters. Gas limit you can set 750k as we mentioned. and gas price always need to be accurate also for the block. So let's say if the current block gas price is 12, you cannot 20, then you are higher than the actual gas on the block, and you can click buy, and it will run an extra buy on your wallet. You can also sell manually the token, so you don't need to wait for the person who is trading on behalf of you. The same things should be there. You need to add gas settings and gas limit. That's the only things what you need. You can ignore max fee per gas. That's for the energy saver gas settings. So just use if you really need it. But for quick profit takings, it's fine. The basic and default gas settings. You can see your current how you are up or down on the token. You can also transfer to specific wallet if you want to move away from the token from your tracker bot. Let's say you want to follow up the token, so you're transferring to your sniper bot. You can do that inside the application. But the key is that it will show balance, how much your balance and how much your back worth. With this refresh button, you can refresh. It's not work like in the sniper bot that is updating automatically after certain time. You need to manual download and request a new information about your token value. So if it's 0, that means you don't have any tokens of this. You don't have any token and it's worth nothing. But if you have some tokens, you will see the actual value of it. So you can do the test. You can sell it. You can approve it. You can select how much percentage you want to sell, and basically this is how the basic sell function works on the tracker bot. Reload page, as I mentioned, showing you the latest trades what you have, updating the panel. If you go to the history tab, under history tab you will see that when your buy transaction happened, when your approve transaction happened, you will see the contract, your investment. Approve usually have no investment, but if you sell, you can see what was the outcome. Also, you can see the transaction hash for yourself and for the tracked wallet as well, so you can easily check back what happened and how it went. If you click on this icon, it pops up also the sell token, so it's really up to you where you want to sell. You can do it from the trade tab or you can do it from the history tab, basically the same basic sniper but appearing for sell that specific token. I have prepared something else as well to show you, because I think it's very important to talk about. Covered most of the things, and I think everything that we have covered in the tracker bot is not that difficult. You just need to have the good setup for the specific wallet. But one important thing what usually not being highlighted so often is what you should consider, what you should check, and how you should check each things. So let's say if you have a token and you pick a wallet, what you need to see and what need to check on the specific wallet, who to follow, who to not. So let's say you can see that this guy is using ETH, but he also have wrapped ETH. So if you want to track this guy, it's possible that he's also using wrapped ETH as well for his transactions. So in that scenario, you need to hold wrapped ETH as well. You can see that he quite often fails also with some of his tokens, buys and sells. Under the transaction hash, you can investigate the reason. Before you getting surprised why your transaction failed, I recommend to everyone always investigate the another party as well to see if he's failed and what was the reason. So let's say your transaction failed. First, what I should do, I should check the another person wallet, and if he fails as well, it's probably because his settings was wrong. How you can do that? You can open the transaction and you can see the details what need to check. If it's meaningless for you or you don't know what to check exactly, my recommendation for you to check transaction hash, copy, and you go to the standardized sites, you paste the transaction, then it's showing you what was the reason for the fail. So you can see balance exceed wallet size. So basically he wanted to get more tokens as possible in the contract. So before you trying to, I'm not saying to contact me, but before you asking for checks from the team or what's happened exactly, I recommend you to go through on your wallet, on his wallet, checks what's happened with his transaction. If it's not clear why the transaction failed, go to this site. I will send to everyone. You paste the contract address, and this tells you the reason why this failed. You can see that this transaction was failed because basically the person front ran. So that was the reason why you haven't been able to enter. So yeah, this is our tracker bot currently. Thank you for watching this video. I hope this will